New year. Same exact me posting budget reports late AF. It's been almost 8 years, people. We might just want to accept this. Let's jump into my January budget report and net worth update. Thank you for being here. My name is Sarah, also known as Budget Girl here on the internet, and I'm thrilled you clicked on this video. I'm showing you my January 2022 budget, exactly how much money I made, where it all went, all of my side business income and expenses, because I believe in money transparency. And I think the more that we talk about money and know about each other's money, the better off we all are. So let's jump into it. First off, I made $3,202 at my day job, which is where I am now on my lunch break, Texas A&M. And then I made $1,598.19 off of my business, Budget Girl, which is what you are watching. I also got $700 and $1,250 from my real estate investments, which is my duplex essentially. So that's rent from my renter in my A unit and my boyfriend who lives with me in my B unit. And that also includes his half of electricity, lawn, and that kind of thing. And then I have a different one this time. I made $1,216.91 from getting a new roof. So I kind of made that money, but I also basically paid that money out a few months back. I got a new roof following our Texas hailstorm last year. I waited a little bit. I had to pay, I think it was $1,500 as my deductible. I'd have to go back, but paid that in. The roofer essentially had to file all sorts of stuff and for his actual costs, and then I was sent a check and I had to pay out his additional costs, but it ended up leaving me with a little bit of money. I'm not explaining this well, but I essentially got a free roof at the end of the day. I essentially got my deductible back at the end of it. There's no fraud here. This is completely legit. My roofer didn't do anything wrong. But it was very nice because I was always under the impression that new roofs cost so much freaking money, and I'm sure they do without insurance, but this wasn't that bad. And then I also paid out $1,531 in quarterly estimated taxes for Budget Girl. Paid my $1,600 mortgage, which as you can see up here, is paid for by my renters, which is fantastic, but it is still a bill that I have, and if they don't pay, I have to pay it, so that's why it's in my normal budget here. Speaking of budgets, this one that you're seeing right now, I actually sell on Etsy, and I've sold more than 3,000 copies of this budget, and it has almost all 5-star reviews. It is highly customizable. I'm all about using what sort of budget works for you in your brain. If pen and paper works for you, if a planner works for you, if an app works for you, awesome, just budget. If a spreadsheet is more up your speed and you like the looks of this and you think that this could work for helping you master your money, I'll have a link in my bio. I also have my net worth tracker there, and that's gonna come up next if you want to see that. Both of these are under $10, and you can duplicate them and use them forever. Completely customizable. One of my secrets for being able to get out of debt and how I've built wealth. It works really well for me, and if you want it yourself, you can buy it. Paid car insurance, phone, etc. I really didn't spend that much in January. It was so cold. I'm just looking at it now. I spent $170 eating out, $342 on groceries, which is actually less than we usually spend. And then I spent $191 on personal spending, which included purchasing an egg chair that I later resold for a $20 profit, by the way, a Valentine's Day event, some fabric storage boxes, Target, blah, blah, blah. All right, I got some stuff from Old Navy and 2 Shein sweaters. This is one of them. And then also had some physical therapy. Had to spend some money on a prescription. I spent $270 on Maggie and Rory. We boarded them. This is why I didn't spend much money. My dad died last month, and I had to go to Mississippi for the funeral, and so that's why gas is high and why I wasn't spending any money, because didn't really need to. So boarding Maggie and Rory was $270, and I also got an oil change. Jacob's birthday is also in February, so I got him some stuff. And then over here, I I have a couple of subscriptions, so $20 for Hulu and Disney. I have a friend who does Amazon Prime, Netflix, and we share passwords, so we all have access. And then I use a Kindle Unlimited because I read constantly. My miscellaneous costs were kind of high for this month, but that's okay. And then I needed to reaccount for my car insurance. It went up a little bit, so I changed that. That needs to be fixed in February. All right, I put $500 a month towards my next real estate investment fund. That's just a savings account. And then I also invest $700 a month. Most of that goes to my Roth IRA, and the rest is just brokerage. So my total I spent was $4,758.52. Next up, let's go over my various business income and expenses. So first off, there's Budget Girl, which is this YouTube channel and the associated social medias and the website. So I made $796.52 on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, please. I'm almost to 100K. I've been working towards that for a while. I would really appreciate it. Next, I also made $106.33 off of ads from my website, budgetgirl.com, which is full of free and frugal stuff for you and guides for how to save money and live the life that you want to live. So go check that out. Next, I made $257.78 on Etsy, and then $243.41 on Etsy, and then $126.31 on Etsy. It was a 3 payout month, and that is fantastic. I was highlighted in a BuzzFeed article again this year as a gift to buy for the holidays, and I'm so honored, and that was awesome. I also made $67.84 off of an affiliate. So that totaled out to $1,598.19 that I made off of Budget Girl. Next to the expenses. Now this is high, and I actually was at a loss this month for Budget Girl because I had several things. So let's go over them. First, internet, Canva, Flowdesk, newsletter person, web person, subscriptions, my video editor, things like DigitalOcean and Cloudflare run my website, G Suite for email, Calendly. Annual subscription was $153. That's to help book interviews and podcasts and stuff like that. Next, I paid my VA $239.20, and I also booked a really cool, unique Airbnb stay for $377. This place is like $300 a night. Total, it's $900. Jacob and I are going on a little vacation in April, and during one of the days there, I'm going to film and do all sorts of stuff, so that's going to be a partial business expense, and I'm going to pay the rest out of my personal. So I had an annual subscription for $110, and then an annual subscription for $79, and then I had to pay $9 for the Wagon's website domain, which is so cool. And then the final thing was that I paid $500 to a savings account where my quarterly annual taxes come out. So I spent $1,983.36 on Budget Girl. I'm usually not in the negative. This was a very expensive month, and in large part due to this future expense of the April Udoscape. So next up, my mortgage, $1,600, and I make $1,740 from my renters, so I had $140 left, so that's a positive, and there were no duplex expenses this month other than the roof thing, which I just didn't even put in this. I just put it at the top. Finally, Airbnb. So this is my first full month on Airbnb, which is very exciting. I had 2 bookings, one for $299.73 and the next for $193.03. So I had a booking January 7th through 9th and a booking January 19th through 22nd. January is very off season. I wasn't expecting to make a lot of money here, but I was hoping to cover the lot rent, which is $280. So I did that, but then I had several expenses. I bought a small waffle maker that was in the shape of Texas, which was already mentioned in one review. I just thought it was really cute for $16. I also got some caulk, paint, for fixing up a couple little spots that I saw, an oven mitt, a coffee scoop, and some cups for $14. And then the big thing was a locksmith for $100. So during our first freeze here in Texas this year, the lock decided to jam up, and a tiny little ball bearing from this original 1980s lock got out of place. So my renter at the time couldn't lock the door. She was able to get in and out, but she couldn't lock the door and secure her possessions. So we called out a locksmith immediately, who got out there, took apart the lock, and put it back together. And then it seized up again. So Jacob and I went out. I had watched the guy fix the lock, so we took it apart, did the same thing, put it back, and what we did was we used silicone spray instead of the WD-40, which I think had been lubricating it before, and WD-40 apparently freezes. So we used silicone spray on the lock, and the lock was essentially fixed. Person was able to lock her belongings up, everything like that. But this is a very old lock. This is like a very old school lock. The locksmith had never seen it before. So what I actually did was I did some internet research and I found a custom, essentially lock replacement to update this lock so that we never have this issue again. So that was $141. I special ordered it from Canada. The guy was super nice. That's like one of the things that he does is creates these custom updating lock kits for vintage campers and trailers, and he had one that would fit the Ag Wagon. So that was a $250 expense that I wasn't expecting, but it's definitely the cost of doing business, and I'm excited to get that new custom lock installed that's modern. It'll be easier for everyone involved. And yeah, that was just a cost that put us over and into the negative a little, but that's okay. I also bought some coffee and some I leave little fuzzy socks for guests because the camper floor gets kind of cold, and I think it's a nice little thing. Got a hanging organizer, owner's closet, and some rollers. I don't know what that means, but essentially some amenities. So I was negative $353.90 for the Ag Wagon this month. The first full month of it being open, and that's okay. What we did was we were able to cover the costs of the lot rent, and I'm still investing in this. I'm expecting my return to be during more of an on season. It's very cold. People aren't really traveling here right now. And also businesses take some time to start up and get to the point where it's making money. So I'm happy to take this $350 loss and just improve every single booking. All right, so total income, $7,967.82 minus $47.58 main expenses minus $1,982 BG expenses plus $140 profit from the duplex equals a total take home of $1,366 essentially left over from what I've made minus what I spent from the month. So $353 of that went to repay myself for the Ag Wagon overage, and then I'm sending the $1,013 remaining to my next real estate investment fund, equaling out to $0. Let's check on my net worth. Brand new net worth tracker, clone from last year. Once again, you can get this net worth tracker at my Etsy store. I will link it down below. It's fantastic to see like a bird's eye view of your finances. So in my checking account, I've got about $7,000 and about $4,000 in my duplex checking account, equaling $11,000 in cash. In my emergency fund, I've got $10,221. I have a separate duplex emergency fund specifically for things that happen with the house. That's where I paid my roofer out of originally. And then I have a short-term savings, essentially like a little baby emergency savings for $2,000, equaling out to $24,252 in cash. I know it's a lot of money, but having savings is security to me. I also have $12,000 in my future real estate investment fund savings, and I've got $3,560 in a YouTube savings account, which is where that money comes out of for my quarterly estimated taxes and where I put that $500 a month in. And finally, I have another sinking fund for my car insurance, which has $693 in it. So total cash and savings is $52,069, which just makes me happy inside. I know at this point I'm losing money because I have so much in savings, but I'm not going to spend the real estate investment money because you keep it in cash unless if you're gonna spend it in the next 3 to 5 years. And I'm hoping to purchase real estate this year. Hoping. All right, so let's move on to retirement and investments. So my teacher's retirement system retirement from A&M has $17,366 in it. I have an old IRA through Betterment that it has $10,103 in it. As you can see, this has gone down because the stock market is down right now, but that's fine. We're a set it and forget it people here. We don't panic sell. We just ride the roller coaster. Next, I've got $2,507 in an old Roth IRA and $18,115 in my current Roth IRA, which is at Vanguard and invested in VT Sachs and Chill. So 48 grand invested, which is fantastic, in retirement. Next, I've got a couple of brokerage accounts. I've got 2 grand in an M1 finance account, a few $100s each in an Acorn and a Robinhood account, mostly just for fun. Like, that's where I buy Home Depot, because I frequent Home Depot so much. I figure I should be invested in them, specifically. All right, so total investments are 50 grand, equaling total liquid assets of savings, cash, investments, $102,000. Yay! All right, next, property assets. So my home is worth about $300,000, my car is worth about $500, and my camper is worth about $20,000, equaling out to $325,000 in non-liquid assets. So my total assets are $427,785. And my mortgage on my duplex is currently my only debt, and that is $225,600. So my net worth is $202,185. This is actually down a little bit from last month, just because of the stock market. The stock market's going through some stuff right now, and that's okay. We just leave her alone. She'll fix herself. Let me know how your January went. It was my birthday in that month. It was also kind of a crappy month because the funeral, and I had COVID, and that's why I didn't spend any money at all. So at least some normal fun stuff. Yeah, not a great start to 2022. Hoping February's over as of today, but hoping the rest of the year will be better. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep tuning into this messiness, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Here are some videos YouTube thinks you might like for some reason.